نروح لرجل عمل لسنوات طويلة داخل الاتحاد الانجليزي كإداري وكطبعا مدير إداري، وكان قريب جدا من القرارات الفنية. أدريان بيفينغتون، طبعا المدير الإداري السابق في الاتحاد الانجليزي للمنتخب الأول من سنة 2010 ل 2015، وشارك في تعيين ساوث جيت مديرا فنيا لمنتخب انجلترا تحت 21 عاما. وطبعا كان واحد من اصحاب القرار في تعيين فابيو كابيلو مدربا لمنتخب انجلترا. راجل ليه باع طويل في الاتحاد الانجليزي، هيقول لنا ايه اللي بيحصل هناك وبياخدوا القرارات ازاي. Adrian, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. I listened to some of the names there.
Yes, I was. This is the only thing that you could understand, aren't you? Just the names.
Technical directors.
Okay.
Les Reed, Ashworth, McDermott.
Yes, tell me, are you working at Hartpool now?
That's just as a non-executive director. That's not my full-time job. I'm working primarily with an investment company to invest lots of money into players and clubs globally at the moment.
You know that I used to live just a couple of miles from Hartpool. I used to live in Darlington.
I know. Yeah.
I love
superstar Meido. Big respect.
Thanks. Thank you very much. I love the Northeast people. I think they are very kind. They're top class, and I always say that. Adrian, tell me, you have a lot of experience with the FA, and you know how they make a decision when it comes to a new manager renewing his contract, the structure of the English football. Who make the decision? Is it the technical director? And how the board, the FA board, deal with it? Who got the upper hand? Who make the decision?
Okay, so it can change depending on a particular situation, Meido. But the most important thing is that you said there is the structure. Yeah. And I've done it with England, and I've done it with Wales, and I've advised some other associations as well, the number of clubs when they've appointed managers and coaches. Now, the technical director has to be a really influential voice in this, because the technical lead should be, in my opinion, the person who has the most important voice when it comes to deciding who the head coach should be. But before you even get to that, as an organisation, and it took England a long time to get to this, as you well know, you have to have your strategy in place. So you have to decide what is the actual plan, what is the style of football that you want to implement, how are you going to do it, what are the kind of people skills that you want the coach to have. And so if you look at someone like Southgate now, who you and I both know very well, you know, he fits a criteria of a modern leader who can work with players and work with developing young players, of which England at the moment are fortunate they have a lot of. But ultimately, at the English FA, as with most federations, the technical director will be one of a small group of people, with people like myself previously, where you'll sit down and you'll work through the potential candidates. You'll get to your shortlist. You may decide on one, you may interview 2 or 3, and then ultimately you have to go to the main board for it to be signed off. But ultimately, the small group that is empowered by the board to identify the manager, in effect, is being told, whoever you pick, as long as we can make the numbers work, we will appoint that person.
But what if the board doesn't agree with your opinion? So
I mean, look, thankfully, from my point of view, I've never been in a situation where the board has, you know, said no and everything. But what I have been involved in, Meido, is where, look, I've been involved in appointing managers that in the end, personally, they weren't my pick. There was someone, but the wider group agreed that was the person they wanted to go with. So I, as a member of the group, even though this person on a few occasions wasn't my choice, I said, okay, this is who we go with, because you have to take a collective view if you're on a board or a small leadership team. I guess the most important thing is you only agree to it, though, if it's someone that you are willing to agree to. If it's someone that you definitely do not want, you have to put your hand up and say, that person's not for me, and you maybe have to step back out of the process.
But is it a committee? Is it a technical committee?
So look at the FA now. There will be the technical lead person is John McDermott,
and they have a group. They have a group of people around them.
There will be I expect. So when we appointed Southgate to be the under-21 coach, or we appointed Hodgson to be the manager when I was there, we had the chairman of the FA, the president, we had the general secretary, we had myself, who was the managing director of the national teams, and we had the technical director. Okay. And between us, we discussed it and we decided as a group collectively who we were going to go for.
And Adrian, do you vote for the decision? Does it go with voting? Or?
It never went like that, to be honest with you. It was more of a case of, look, what we did, we were very thorough in of what we were looking for a person. So then I remember when we interviewed, I mean, Gareth Southgate, because he's now the national team first team manager, and it's someone we both know, when he was the under-21 coach, we interviewed approximately 10 coaches. We interviewed all 10. We then got it down to 2 or 3 people. And then we brought in the president and the general secretary for second interview. And one of them was Gareth, and Gareth got the job.
Okay, Adrian, this is clear for me. Thank you very much for joining us, and it's been a pleasure to have you on my show. Please pass my greetings to all your family and all the Northeast people in the UK. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Meido. Real pleasure and good luck to everybody in Egypt.
Pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. يعني طبعا ده كان ادريان بيفينغتون، واحد من اصحاب القرار داخل الاتحاد الانجليزي، وهو المانجنج دايركتور، يعني الراجل صاحب قرار مهم جدا، وقال لنا كلام مهم جدا، لان انا بالنسبه لي الموضوع ده مهم. الموضوع ده مهم جدا يا جماعه، عشان ما يتخذش قرارات فنيه غلط من ناس ما عندهمش خلفيه كرويه وفوتبول باك جراوند، وبعد كده كلنا نلبس في الحيط نقعد نرجع ورا سنين لورا، وكل الناس بتتقدم ومش عارفين ناخد قرارات ازاي. فانا هنا دوري ان انا بوريكم الناس بره بتشتغل ازاي،